What we can learn from Apple's policy on products and from Frontier's latest security breach. Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Hello, 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 and welcome back to the WorkHARDaholic Show. I am Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, and today, okay, I don't know about you all, but I remember growing up how, your parents were always like, oh, learn from what I'm teaching you. You don't have to go through it yourself. And I used to always think, but I want to. It's something different when you experience it. Now that I'm older and wiser, I'm like, I'm not going to go through it if I don't have to. So today I want to share with you a couple of things that have been happening out in the business community that you can learn a lot from. So I want to start off with our good friend, Apple. So I don't know about you all. I have my own philosophies, or I always have, about why it is that your Windows version is obsolete or you can't use it anymore, or about your phones or the televisions. I'll put it to you this way. When I was studying for my MBA at good old Virginia Commonwealth University, there was actually a case study about automobiles. And so the whole story was actually that companies, lovely American made companies, gotta love them, won't drop names, but you know who they are, were actually making vehicles that were they were less superior. So they were basically inferior. They were acceptable, but they were having a problem that they would sell a car and then people wouldn't buy any more. Well, why would they need to if they had this vehicle that was going to last them for the long haul? So that was an actual business policy of American automakers to make sure that that metal wasn't going to last you. It was going to start to rust. It was going to start to depreciate. Well, we knew depreciation, but it was going to decrease in value. It wasn't going to work as well. So a lot of Americans learned about this, and that's why they started going over to Germany or other countries, buying their vehicles and having them shipped over, because that same vehicle that was made here wasn't quite the same. So with that in mind, I've always had that in the back of my mind. So it's not all that I'm jaded. It's some of these are factual. So I always wonder when it comes to um not just our cars, but our electronic devices. Like, why is it that have you noticed on your phone when you're getting near to the end of your contract that all of a sudden your reception is worse? Other things are happening. I firmly believe that's part of the plan of the your cell phone providers. So here's the thing that we're going to learn like mama told us without having to go through it ourselves. We're going to learn from experience. Apple. Apple right now has declared that the iPhone 5S, which that's a lot of numbers ago, right? They're about to bring out 16. So the 5S goes back a little while. And so it's now going to be obsolete. And so here is what that means. Whenever they make something obsolete, that means they're not going to sell it, they're not going to service it, they're not going to make parts for it, and you can bet all that's within you that all your software is going to become obsolete and unusable. And then when they make updates, the updates will not apply to your version. And the 5S is a very popular iPhone model. So there are a lot of you all that they're trying to get. This is my perception. They're trying to get you away from the 5S because they're like, we put out all these phones. It's time for you people to be buying some of them. So they're cutting off the 5S. And so when the 5S came out, it was like $200. Can you imagine that now for an iPhone anything? Where they're now officially the price of a small car, or at least a very they're expensive. All right. And so that's what's happening. And so the thing that I say about this, while as a consumer this can be annoying, as an entrepreneur there's a lot to learn there. So here's the thing. Have you noticed anything decreasing with Apple's value? I think there are more people buying iPhones. And so they have created this community. Like, I remember the commercials. And so Those commercials that they had, it was the Apple versus the Mac. Let's try that again because those are the same. It was PC versus Mac, right? And so the whole commercial was, are you a PC or are you a Mac? They created an entire identity brand where we actually label ourselves. We talk about the products as if we are them. Oh, I'm a Mac user. I hear this conversation all the time. I participate as well. Although in my case, I use both. I'm an avid Mac user, but I also have a PC. I also have, or I used to, an Android and my iPhones. But we have these conversations about, oh no, I'm a Mac. Oh, what are you using? We disdain people who are using something different. Like, that's an Android. Like, oh, what are you doing? What year do you think this is? Right? These are the conversations that we're having. And I want you to know that's some amazing branding, right? And so here it is that even though they're charging your average iPhone is going to be well over $1,000, and no one's blinking an eye. Instead, we're all just used to either putting it on our plan with our cell phone providers, or we're paying it outright, and we're not balking about it. And so even though we all know what's happening, we all know that they could maintain the iPhone 5S indefinitely, but they really want you to switch to something newer, so they're not going to. And we all know it, but what do? We're going to turn that one in and get another one. And so like now the specials they're having, turn in your old iPhone, get a new iPhone and a watch and a tablet. And you're not going to pay for them, but you're going to pay $20 a month for each line. It's amazing. So if we can really learn about the community that Apple has developed, so much so that even though you recognize and know that that phone you had before was $200 and now you're approaching $2,000 on your phone, and still you're out there touting it and putting that sticker they give you every time you make a purchase on all of your stuff so that everyone knows that you are Mac. There are amazing lessons within that. And I really think I want you to take the time to really think about the packaging, the product management, the product marketing, how compatible all their products are with one another, how I can transfer data from my iPad to my iPhone to my MacBook Pro to my iMac. It's so easy to stay within the community. The question for you is, how can you translate that to your business, your product, your service? How intertwined can you make it? How simple can you make it to transfer their current platform to your platform? Like they make it so easy. Can you create the community that people are going to be like, oh, I work with so-and-so. Who do you work with? Oh, what? No. You want all of that. So I really want you to take some time and really look and see. I think Apple's an amazing example of brand awareness, like really brand loyalty, brand community, and learn from that. And even learn from the fact that they're making a model that's quite popular defunct. So it's something for you to even consider as an entrepreneur. Like, how can you make sure that people are current with you, staying with you, right there with you, along the journey with you, and that they're going to walk around saying, I work with you. All right. We have more to learn from Frontier and their recent security breach in just a moment after this commercial break.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Listen, Attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope. healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? You know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay. So I know we've had several conversations about security breaches, all right? So in one way, I don't know if there's really an answer on how that's ever going to stop. But it's an amazing field to go into if you're looking for a line of employment or even to start a gig. Cybersecurity is, it's happening all the time. It's so important. Governments are dealing with it. I mean, we're not talking just mom and pops. This is going from the largest to the smallest. It's a real concern. And so these days, now we're trying to just mitigate it. That's really the bottom line. So when I look at a scenario and they're like, they got hacked and now they're trying to protect themselves, it doesn't make you wonder, well, why weren't you protected before? And part of that is the bottom line is dollars. So as an entrepreneur, right, we do this thing where we pay for what we need to pay for now without always thinking about what does this mean in the long term. When it comes to your cybersecurity, and so like, yes, you can buy that security patch for your website that you can put up and say, oh, we're protected. But what does it really mean and how deep does it go? I love good marketing. I love good commercials. And there's the Mayhem. No, don't ask me which insurance company that is, but I love those commercials because they're so true. It makes you really think about, oh, this could happen. Am I protected? There is one of those commercials, and I don't think it's the Mayhem people, but it's still I think it's by IBM, a company that I used to love so much. I used to want to work there. That was eons ago. But I think it's IBM, and they're talking about security on their printers because now that everyone's working remotely, that means that there are many more access points into your security. And so people can hack into your home printer and get into your business network and corrupt all kinds of things. So one of those scenarios happened. They haven't told us what exactly, but Frontier Communications. If you're not familiar with them, they provide internet. They use fiber, which I think is really interesting. Fiber as opposed to fiber optics. Not my area or my area of expertise. I'm just fascinated by the story. So the bottom line is over the information for over 750,000 customers. Like that's more than some of your towns. Okay. The 750,000 people had their information hacked from Frontier Communications. And that included full names, social security numbers. I mean, you talk about it, it was happening. And this is not a billion years ago. This was just back in April. And so there's a hacker group, Ransom Hub Extortion Group. What does it mean when our hackers, our criminals are incorporating? Like they have groups. Like, what does this mean? It means this is normal. And there it is. So they're claiming that they're the ones who did it. I don't know if they've had any proof to say that it's the case. And they're saying that they are going to release the information unless Frontier pays a ransom. And so, like, when it's not you, it seems like, oh, that's abstract, but it's happening everywhere. Like we talked about the whole thing with United Health, which and the hacking that they had and that big amount of money they had to pay. And still, all this time later, there are still companies that are having to deal with what happened with that. Different hospitals are still having to deal with that hack of what happened, right? And so you go, what difference does it make if they hack it, right? If someone gets your social security number, they can shop, buy, wreck your credit. They can do all kinds of things. They can have ID information that it could come to the point where you're going someplace and they're like, oh, this isn't you. You're not the picture we see and then you have to prove your identity. Identity theft. Oh my goodness. This is how it all begins with these hacks. It can also happen by them rifling through your trash, in all honesty. So that's why we shred our documents. Okay. I don't want to ramble too much. I want you to learn from this experience. All right. So Frontier's response now is, oh, we're increasing our security. We're doing all that we can. They're also contemplating whether or not they're going to pay this ransom because right now it's a claim. I don't know if they have proof, but the group is claiming that the group that's claiming that they stole it is also saying that they have full names, physical addresses, date of birth, social security numbers, email addresses, credit scores, and phone numbers for those 750,000 people. And you don't want that to be you. So the Office of Maine Attorney General is working with them, all kinds of things happening. But what does this mean for your company, right? Have any of you ever seen this message pop up on your screen that says, you have been hacked? I have seen this on someone's screen. It pops up. It looks like poison, and there's a message. And it's like, if you don't click here or do this, this is what's going to happen. What are you going to do for your business? What happens for you? Does everything shut down? Does it mean that how much of your network is connected? How many of your items are all connected? Like, there are things you really want to know and be concerned about. So at this point, I think if you have not been considering your cybersecurity, please come from under the rock. Figure out, maybe you want to use a VPN, right? Maybe there are options for you. You want to have a cybersecurity expert come in and look at your information, look at your network, see how you're connected. So one of the things that I've shown people, and they seem so amazed, like if you're at an office complex and you go to network and you're looking and you can see other printers in the building, other computers in the building, that means there's a connection. How protected is that? So you think, oh, I'm doing all that I need to, but then your network is open. You need to be aware of all these things and more, all right? So I just want you all to make sure you're thinking about it. Learn from what's going on with these and these are larger companies who have 750,000 clients. Clearly, they probably have more money than you do. Why weren't they investing more into their cybersecurity? Frankly, why aren't you investing more into your cybersecurity? All right. So as I said before, let's learn from others. We don't have to go through it all in order for us to resolve it all. There are enough samples out here of large corporations and governments. Let's not forget about the whole industry with the fuel lines and everything else that was happening. That meant that our gas prices went up because they were being ransomed for that as well. Stuff is happening all around you. Take note, be aware, do what you can to make sure that you are being safe and secure. Shred your documents. That's another way that people get your identity information. It might be time to invest in an ID theft protection service. There are options out there, and it's like insurance. If you need it, you're glad you have it. And if you don't need it, you're going, well, why am I paying for it? Because if you ever do need it, you want it. Okay, that's that for now. Come right back after this commercial break. We have more to share here on the WorkHARDAholic Show.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2727. 2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family. Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? You know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then. Got a question about your small business? Trying to figure out what to do to start a business? Are you a C-suite executive trying to figure out some leadership tools and resources that you need? Well, we've got answers for you. Submit your questions, concerns, thoughts to admin@WorkHARDaholics.com. That's WorkHARDaholics.com. And you might hear your question, or at least the answer to it, on our next episode. Welcome back again. You are listening to or watching the WorkHARDaholic Show with Shirley Crawford, your favorite workaholic. Okay, so we've been talking about lessons that we can learn from Apple and all of that brand management that they have going on, and from Frontier Communications, who recently had a security breach back in April of 2024. And now, I really want to talk to you all about taking your next step, your next level. So there are a couple of things that that we have happening and are about to have happen. I'm kind of giving you all a heads up so that you can be aware, because one of them is going to be a beta group, and the other is probably going to be a limited selection as well. So for those of you who don't know, launching my next book, June 29th. And so know your value, know your worth. Really excited about that. If you want more information, you can probably go to shirleyecrawford.com. And I do say probably, but that is where most things live for me, and it'll take you to the various websites. The other thing that we're getting ready for is, and I feel more excited because people around me are more excited. So yesterday, a young lady who hasn't been to the event before, she hasn't been to the mastermind retreat, but some of the people who've been were telling her all about it. So she has registered, and she's so excited about going, and it makes me more excited. I'm just excited I'm excited to know that each person participating is going to walk away with tools, resources, more information, confidence, potentially bigger business ideas. Like, there's so much, the trajectory of each person participating can skyrocket from what they're going to receive. So I'm super excited. It's October 6th through the 11th. Make sure I get the dates right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. 6th through the 11th will be in Outer Banks, North Carolina. It was sold out. So I opened it up back in December of 2023 and sold out like almost immediately. And, but because of that, that's why I talk about it, but I hadn't really been advertising it. So then I officially changed the location, got a bigger location so that I could accommodate a few more people. And so I actually am really going to share that now, because I have 2 rooms open. So if you want that to be you need to say so pretty quickly. You can go to shirleycrawford.com, the first button that takes you to the retreat. And it's just going to be an amazing time. And I'm so super proud about that. right? So I just want to make sure, because here's a complaint that I get. I frequently get the complaint that, Shirley, your stuff happens and we didn't know, or share it. And so I'm really going to make sure to do a much better job, kind of, to share. So once again, I'm letting you know, the latest book comes out June 29th, which is my birthday. So it's a birthday book signing. And actually, the notices for that will start going out today. So see, you're hearing about it before they even went out into the rest of the world. And then the other thing will be the Diva Mastermind Retreat, which is, of course, a limited number. But here is the next thing. So this is kind of like save the date without the date, to save the information. I'm about to launch the actual mastermind. Well, there are two things I'm about to launch. It's been really busy over here. So one is the actual mastermind group. Most of those are by special invitation only, for the beta group. If you're out there and you're like, Shirley, that's not fair, I really want to participate, you are welcome to send a message to admin@workhardaholics.com, WorkHARDAholics.com, and kind of pitch yourself on why you should be a part of the group, because I might open it up to one or two other people who are not a part of my initial invitation, but right now it's invite only. And so if you're interested in that, and if you're passionately interested, send us a message and let us know why, and we'll see about including you. There is a fee, but the fee is for the entire year. It's going to be, and right now it'll be discounted, just for the beta group. And then we'll see if we're going to expand it or not, or how that's going to work. The other thing that I'm super excited about, and I need your feedback. So here's the deal. As most of you know, I have been a small business consultant for over a quarter of a century now. I like saying that, a quarter of a century. Over 25 years, I've been a small business consultant. And here's the thing that's happening. It's hard to get me one-on-one these days. And for some of you, it might not be at a price point that you're ready for. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And I'm worth every penny of it. So I'm not lowering that price, because if I'm giving you one-on-one time, you're getting some really quality information. So here is the thing. I'm about to launch a membership community. I need you to hear that. You are all the first people to hear about it. I haven't posted it. I haven't put it all out there yet. And haven't even set the price. So we're looking at probably like $20 to $25 a month. And what that will mean is you'll have access to a vault of previous classes, information, resources, list of information. And then I will come into the community like once a week. I mean, I'll post stuff, but there'll be other people in there as well. But like once a week, I'll come in and do, maybe I'm trying to decide if it's a 30-minute Q&A, or if I should come out with actual like workshop and seminars. I would love your feedback on what you all would like to receive in there. So now, instead of having to go, I don't have the 300 plus for what used to be an hour, but now it's like 30 minutes with me, then this is that option. So I'm super excited about it, because it's also one of the few things that I do that has no limitations on it. So for the center, we're all women. Like, I do a lot of women things. I do a lot of African American things. This one is open to the general public. It's if you are out there as an entrepreneur. So for all of you who are like, love to call me and say, can I take you to lunch to ask you this? No, because that's my answer. No, I am worth more than a meal. But now you'll have an opportunity to put your questions into the community. And even though you might not get an answer within a day, within the week, the questions will be answered. If it's something that's far too in depth, I'll give I or one of the consultants will give a general answer, and then maybe suggest some things to you, or you can still do group coaching with me. I'm still not sure about one-on-one. Okay, that was covering a lot. I told you all I have a lot happening right now, and I really want to make sure that we are available to you, because I want to see you win. Okay, on that note, as we always like to say, live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring. Ta-ta. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Repeat. Repeat.
Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.